So you guys did it first for me. I had everybody come in, put a hand on each other. The first time I mentioned the streak in front of the guys. It was worthy of me stepping back for those few short moments. That it was a heck of an experience for all of us to have together. We understand, I'm probably more so later on, in our careers, the significance of that. And then that was it. We took that moment to acknowledge it, to acknowledge each other on that experience. But it was never about the streak. With us, we have a bigger goal, but also right now it's about are we getting better? And when this first thing started a few weeks ago, it was about the process and getting better. We weren't playing the way we were capable of. We were struggling. Trying to do the things necessary at a consistent level to put us in a position to win, not to talk about the win. And then this just happened. So now it's about getting back to that. We ended up playing much better for several weeks of that. And, I think the last few games we were hanging on. And I think objectively we can step back and admit that we probably weren't getting better these last handful of games. And you run up against a team like this that is very, very competitive and physical. They have a lot of pride, but they won't let you play and compete at a game at night at your top-notch level.
Why did you want to have more closure?
Well, I mean, it would be awkward not to acknowledge it. I don't think it was awkward for us not to acknowledge it during the course of it, because it never was about that. It was the process, but it happened. It went. I think it was important for us to show some gratitude to each other for that. But now we have to move on, and it has to be about getting better. And we have to own this. We'll get to that in the next 48 hours, and hopefully address some of these starts that we've been getting off to. And again, I think you saw an absolutely different disposition and body language in the second half, but against good, solid teams like this, you can't get away with that. 15 minutes of empty minutes.
What could we get over with Rory in the past? Drop it, I'll pull it out. That you're able to pull out the second half.
Well, we were much more competitive in the second half, and it became make or miss in the fourth quarter. We couldn't get the necessary stops that we needed to. Last handful of games, those shots were going down, and maybe that masked a few things going down the stretch. But we're capable of more, and also, come on, you got to give them credit. They made big plays at the end, and they deserve to win. And that's what usually happens in this league. Not all the time, but the team that competes harder, more focus, more commitment. Usually the team that deserves to win will win, and they certainly deserve to win this game.
You got a little rough there at the end. Run on both ends. The flagrant foul.
Welcome to Chicago, Miami basketball. It's been 3 years ago.
What's that like moment for you during this whole run?
Not necessarily. I'll probably have to reflect. I'll think back on it, but I think the early on commitment when we were less than 500 on the road to address it, own it, and work on the process, and the guys were taking that to heart, and that's where we've got to start over again. It's about the process. It's about that simple question: are we getting better? The last couple of games, I don't think we were.
How did the win
I think it took a little bit to get into the rhythm, but man, he made some competitive plays, particularly in that second half. He finds a way to impact a basketball game. And then he had some knick-knackings, things that were happening in the second half, but those are the breaks of the game. So, I'll tell you what, it's much better to have that.